Welcome, one and all, to Roman's World Cup Quiz Night on Easter Monday. Hope you're going to enjoy this. Roman is the man who has come up with all the questions for you, for me. All going to be World Cup themed, so get your thinking caps on. Let's have a look. We've got 5 rounds here, and we've got 10 questions in each round. So make sure you got your pen and paper ready. And you'll notice I am sporting something quite exciting here. Who else has got a Euro 2020 t-shirt? Oh yeah, I'm Bob. I'm going to be your host this evening. Word. Now, let's start with a little bit of music just to get us in the mood. Who remembers this? It could have been a quiz question, this. That was, I believe, the 1978 World Cup TV theme music. First World Cup I remember very well indeed. Let's just put that there on pause. We'll come back to that later. I've got a few more for you. Anyway, let's start with round 1 of the quiz. So Roman's World Cup Quiz Night warm-up round. 10 questions to get your brain cells going. Are you ready? Question 1. Brazil have won the World Cup the most number of times. That's 5 times. Which team are next on the list? Oh, could it be Paraguay? I've said too much. So Brazil have won the World Cup the most number of times, which is 5. Which team are next on the list? Question 2. Which player has won the World Cup a record 3 times? You heard me. He's won the World Cup 3 times. Gave you a bit of a clue there by saying he, because this is about the Men's World Cup. I don't know whether there's any other questions about the women, but this one's about the Men's World Cup. Sorry about the dogs barking in the background. These crazy dogs! Question 3. Who is the leading World Cup goal scorer of all time? Steve, I think you're going to get this one. You remind me of this bloke. Question 4. During England's match with Argentina in 1998, current Atletico Madrid boss Diego Simeone famously kicked David Beckham. He did. Which ex-Premier League manager made 20 appearances for Argentina between 1999 and 2002? Should I say that again? Which ex-Premier League manager made 20 appearances for Argentina between 1999 and 2002? Wait a minute, is it time for a bit of music? I hear you saying, hey Bob, I think the energy's gone down here. Can we just get some music going? Okay, just wait a minute for me, because what I have to do is I've got a bank of computers here, and let's just get a song on for you. Oh. Who remembers this one? I think this might be World Cup related. Question 5. Which item of clothing did England boss Gareth Southgate make famous in 2018? And the answer is, oh, I'm not going to tell you. Question 6. Which acronym was made famous by the English newspapers during World Cup 2006? That's which acronym was made famous by the English newspapers, that's newspapers, during World Cup 2006. Acronym. Question 7. Which female pop star sang the World Cup anthem for South Africa in 2010? Ooh, which female pop star sang the World Cup theme? World Cup anthem for South Africa in 2010? I'll give you a clue. It doesn't go like this. It doesn't go like that. Hold on, I think I've got some water somewhere. Let's have a sip. I see. How do I stop that? Oh, right. Um, Question 8. Where did England finish in the last World Cup before Stockport County legend and manager Jim Gannon was born? That is, question 8. Where did England finish in the last World Cup before Stockport County legendary manager and player Jim Gannon was born? Question 9. One for you here, Eddie. What is the name of the dog that recovered the stolen World Cup in 1966? That's what is the name of the dog that recovered the stolen World Cup trophy in 1966. I'm going to stop saying it twice. Just pause it if you can't remember. Question 10. Right, you get 1 point for each correct answer here. This is where the maths is going to get difficult on this. So, Roman's asking the following question. It's going to help if you're a Stockport County fan. Players that have played full international matches whilst registered as Stockport County players. You've got 11 possible points here. Can you name all of those 11 Stockport County players while registered at Stockport County who played full international matches? Easy! I'll give you a clue. Whilst I'm a very talented footballer, I'm not one of them. So, that's the first warm-up round done. It says here scores out of 20, but I don't think it can be. Oh, yes, it is out of 20. Sorry, it is. That's 9. Yeah, so scores out of 20 for that first round. Sorry, Roman. Right, before we head into round 2, let's have a little musical interlude and see if you can remember this one. That's enough of that. Right. Round 2 is Italia 90. See where you're coming from here. Question 1. Who was the youngest member of the England squad in 1990? Was it A, Paul Gascoigne? Or Gaza? Was it B, David Platt? Or Platty? Or was it C, David Rocastle? All right, Rocky. So, A, B or C, Paul Gascoigne, David Platt or David Rocastle? Question 2. Which German player did Gaza foul to receive his infamous yellow card? That's been Gary Lineker there. Right. Question 3. How many games did Steve Bull start? So we're talking Italia 90. How many games did Steve Bull start? Question 4. Which domestic club provided the most members of England's squad that year? This is a tough one. Question 5. Wait a minute. Question 5. Who scored for England in the semi-final versus Germany? Versus Deutschland. England versus Deutschland. Question 6. Which was the ground of which Serie A club hosted all of England's group games? Be good if you can pronounce it as well. Question 7. What was the title of the theme song that year? And a bonus point for you, the bonus point if you know what it means. Question 8. David Platt, I should say not David Platt off Coronation Street. David Platt became a star for England at this World Cup. Which Italian clubs did he go on to play for? I'll let you know there are 3 Italian clubs and you've got to get them all to get the point. Oh, Roman, you're a tough man. You've got to get them all to get the point. That's crazy, crazy. Question 9. Which song did World in Motion by New Order knock off the #1 spot in the charts that year? Now you get a half point if you get the artist right. You get a half point if you get the title of the song right. To narrow it down, because I think this is a toughie, this one, It wasn't Copacabana by Barry Manilow. It wasn't the Birdie Song by Oasis. And it wasn't The Only One I Know by the Charlatans. The only one I know. Question 10. So the last question for this round. There were 12 stadiums used in Italy during the 1990 World Cup. Not counting Juventus, as their stadium has been knocked down and rebuilt. Should have just knocked it down and not rebuilt it. Sorry, Addy. So not counting Juventus, how many of the 11 has Chloe, that's Roman's mum and top sports journalist, has Chloe been to? So let me say again. There were 12 stadiums used in Italy during the 1990 World Cup. Not counting Juventus, as their stadium has been knocked down and rebuilt, how many of the other 11 stadia has Chloe, that's Roman's mother, the wife of the gorgeous Addie, and a good friend to boot? How many of the other 11 has Chloe been to? Ooh! It's going to be guesswork, isn't it, really? Unless you listen to what Chloe says, and I do, so I would have known the answer. Right, so you've got answers out of 11 for this round. That's round 2 over. Let's have a little bit of music. I'm going to head off again and we'll listen to some World Cup themes here. So bear with me one moment. Talk amongst yourselves. Maybe get a drink.
Stage.
Oh, we've had that one, haven't we? That's rubbish, Ollie. What's this one from? Anyone remember this? I don't remember it. There's some rubbish themes. Let's have another one. That's rubbish too. Right, well, that was absolutely pointless, wasn't it? Anyway, round 3 is mixed questions. Round 3 is mixed questions. Number 1, Scotland have qualified for the World Cup 8 times. 8 times. How many times have Scotland made it out of the group stage? Was it A, 1? Was it B, 0? Or is it C, 3? Was it A, 1? Was it B, 0? Or was it C, 3? C3PO. Question 2. Brazil have qualified for every World Cup tournament. How many times have Brazil reached at least the semi-final? Is it A, 16? Is it B, 11? Is it C, 14? Wowee! You see, I can't give you a bonus mark for this, but also just an extra question to chuck in here. How many times have Brazil won Euro 2020? Could you write your answers on a postcard and send it to me? Care of Roman. Right, question 3. Which is the only World Cup that all of England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland have qualified for? Whoa, that's a good question, Roman. Question 4. Who won the first World Cup in 1930? Scylla, Wardy, if you're playing this quiz, you should remember this very well indeed. The only people I know who are actually there. Question 5. Which team humiliated, and I'll stress that word, humiliated Italy in 1966? I mean, absolutely humiliated them. Oh, Italy, what were you doing? Question 6. Since the World Cup began in 1930, which domestic club team has provided the most winning players? Got time to think about that one? Question 7. After how long was the fastest goal at the World Cup? After how long was the fastest goal at the World Cup? It'd be good here. You've got to get how long. I'll give you a clue. It's less than a minute, so it's how many seconds it was scored in. And it'd be good if you can get the score as well. You don't have to, because that isn't the question. Before we get to question A, can I play you my favourite World Cup theme? I did find this. I couldn't find this on Spotify, but I did find it on... Sorry, that isn't anything wrong with that. I did find it on... where are we? On... sorry, just talk amongst yourself. I did find this on that thing called the YouTube. Jeff Wayne's Matador. Who remembers this one? I actually own this. That's good. That's a little sombrero. That's a brilliant track. Who remembers that? You're probably too young, some of you. Right, question 8. Who broke the record to become the player who captained his country a record 17 times at a World Cup tournament? You get a bonus point if you get the country as well. So who broke the record to become the player who captained his country a record 17 times at a World Cup tournament? Bonus point if you get the country. Question 9. There have been 21 World Cup finals. Phoo-wee! How many were settled on penalties? Question 10. So the last question from this round 3, mixed questions. Which Northern Ireland international remains the youngest player to have ever featured at a World Cup? So which Northern Ireland international remains the youngest player to have ever featured at a World Cup? Right, so that's the end of round 3. We've got 2 more rounds to go. Let's have a little musical interlude now. And perhaps I'll tell you some interesting football facts. That might be very nice, mightn't it? Oh yeah. So let's just get back to where the music's happening. And we have this famous song. Right, so we're on to round 4. Goal! Round 4, the 2018 World Cup. Question 1. Which two teams made their World Cup debut in 2018? So which 2 teams, you've got to get both of these to the point, made the World Cup debut in 2018? Give yourself half a point if you just get one of them. Question 2. Who scored Croatia's second goal versus England in the semi-final? Oh, I don't remember that. Who scored Croatia's second goal versus England in the semi-final when we was robbed? Question 3. Which team's kit went viral, selling out across the globe? Roman, I don't think it's a good time to be using the word viral there. I think you could have chosen your word a little better. But which team's kit went viral, selling out across the globe? Very, very good kit it was, by the way. Question 4. What was the only 0-0 draw of the tournament? And a bonus point if you can name the last World Cup without a 0-0 draw. Question 5. Paul Pogba, or as I call him, Paul Pogba, became the first Premier League player to score in a World Cup final since whom? So he became the first Premier League player to score in a World Cup final since who? Who? I don't know. Question 6. Which team were knocked out at the last 16 stage for the 7th time in a row? And I have got a clue for you here. So I'll read that question again. Which team were knocked out at the last 16 stage for the 7th time in a row? Please note that the validity of my clues can rise and fall according to what truth I'm telling, or not. Right, question 7. It was South Korea in 2002, it was Portugal in 2006, it was Uruguay in 2010, and Brazil in 2014. Who was it in 2018? Tricky. Question 8. The 2018 final was the joint second highest scoring final at 4-2. What was the highest scoring final ever and ever and ever? All right. You get your point here if you can. Hold on, I'm not clear on the answer here. What was the highest scoring final? Well, I think actually you get your point if you can say what year it was. If you can name the team that won it and the score, oh, I don't know, give yourself a bonus point. So the 2018 final was a joint second highest scoring final at 4-2. What was the highest scoring final? So if you can get the result, the name of the teams, I'll give yourself a point. If you get the year, I'll give yourself another point. Go on, knock yourselves out. Question 9. A record number of penalties. Do you remember what penalty is? That's if there's a foul in the penalty area and then they put the ball on the spot, right, and then you kick it and you score the goal. Unless you play for Stockport County and you're playing in, I think it was like the sort of the Milk Cup or something, and we played Crewe Alexandra and we went into extra time and it went to penalties. And I do believe every time Stockport County took a penalty, they replaced the ball with a beach ball because they all seem to sail out of the ground. Classic game, Crewe versus Stockport. Check it out. Anyone remember that? Can you tell me what cup that was? Anyway, a record number of penalties. Question 9. A record number of penalties awarded in the 2018 tournament. How many were there? A, 25, B, 27, or C, 29? And the last question in this penultimate round, question 10, what was Thibaut Courtois' criticism of England goalkeeper Jordan Pickford? That was, what was Thibaut Courtois' criticism of English goalkeeper Jordan Pickford? And that's the end of the round. So I think there the answers are out of, you can get 11, you can get an extra bonus point. I have lost track really of the scoring. So have a little sip of water now. So you and I, we were talking about Stockport County a minute ago. You see there was a number of Stockport County questions here because clearly the best looking, the most intelligent, the most sensuous lovers are indeed Stockport County fans. Sorry, not including you there, Dave. But and you know we've done a lot in our time. Can I show you a nice picture? I've got it. Look at that. Look at that team, eh? That is what we're talking about. A real football team. I remember some top games. I remember seeing us win 5. I think it's 5-1 at home to Morecambe in the cup. Same season we beat Bradford City 4-2. Last season getting promoted as champions at Nuneaton. Heady days. But hey, enough of my chitter chatter. Let's have a bit more music. This one's for Don and Stuart, if you're listening. The first football song I remember. Blue was the colour, and that's by the Chelsea Football Club, sometime I think in the 1970s. Anyway, round 5, so our last round. I can hear someone walking round, sorry, I think it's one of the dogs. Round 5, England. Question 1. Under Sir Alf Ramsey, which English team won the 1961-62 Division 1 league title? Question 2. How many different players scored for England in the 1966 World Cup? You get a bonus point if you can name them all. Only one bonus point? Roman, are you serious? And I'm told my quizzes are too hard. So, how many different players scored for England in the 1966 World Cup? You get a bonus point if you can name them all. Question 3. This one's for you, sweetheart. Question 3. Who did England play in their first World Cup match in 1950? This is a tough round. Question 4. England's last 3 knockout wins have been versus Ecuador, Colombia and Sweden. What do these 3 teams have in common? Question 5. Who is the most capped player in World Cup tournaments for England? Whoa, did not know that. Question 6. In 2006, which 2 England players were playing their domestic football abroad? And I should clarify, by abroad, we mean like not in the United Kingdom. So it needs to be another country. So it could be, for instance, Guatemala, or it could be New Zealand. Another country, it could be South Korea. There's lots more countries. There's loads more countries if you think about it. So, so question 6 again. In 2006, which 2 England players were playing their domestic football abroad? Question 7. Which 2 England players have won the Golden Boot? Question 8. Question 8. Question 8. Doesn't really work, it's not my government really. Question 8. 5 England players have scored 4 or more goals at World Cups. You get 1 point for each of the 5 England players you managed to get. Question 9. England have only played in 1 World Cup final. How many finals have featured an English referee? Is it A, 2? Is it B, a trio? Or is it C, 4? Quattro. So is it A, 2? Is it B, 3? Or is it C, quattro? So 2, 3 or 4. Before we get to the final question, because I don't want to end this, it's been marvellous. How about this? Oh, that didn't go right, did it? Sorry. It's not very professional, is it? Sorry, Roman, I've let you down here, mate. Question 10. Which 3 England players have been sent off in a World Cup match? may I stress, it's not the same match. So question 10, which 3 England players have been sent off in a World Cup match? Now, answers out of 10 here, it says, I don't think that's right. Really, Roman, I think your scoring system is up the Swanee. So it says here it scores out of 63. It really isn't out of 63. I think you should have been doing a bit more studying of maths over this Easter break. Just a personal comment, and I hope that hurt. Anyway, so you've had all your questions now. If there's any you can't remember, just tough luck, but you can go back, rewind, watch it again. And shortly, through the same media of Facebook, the same medium of Facebook, or the same medium of WhatsApp, I shall be posting a link to the answers video, which hopefully will be less tortuous than this. So, brilliant quiz, Roman. I'm hoping you've all had a lovely Easter break, and I'll be seeing you shortly. Bye.